The Temple of Storms. The sea winds grew stronger as Tobian and Nivara sailed farther from the Isle of Shifting Tides. Dark clouds loomed on the horizon, and flashes of lightning illuminated a distant island. According to the map from the Crystal Caverns, their next destination was the Temple of Storms, a legendary place where the raw power of lightning and thunder was said to be harnessed. As they approached, the skies rumbled, and the sea churned with an intense energy that made their ship lurch. Tobian tightened his grip on the helm, guiding the vessel through the stormy waters, while Nivara stood at the bow, her form already beginning to change. Her hair darkened into a stormy grey, streaked with electric blue, like clouds filled with lightning. Her eyes gleamed with a sharp, electric glow, and her skin took on a cool, silvery hue that mirrored the stormy sky. Her gown transformed into a flowing, dark robe crackling with energy, as if woven from the very essence of the storm itself. She now embodied the spirit of storms, her appearance both powerful and untamed. As Tobian anchored their ship near the rocky shore, Nivara leaped onto the land, her form shimmering with the energy of the storm. Tobian followed, his sketchbook in hand, knowing he had to capture her awe-inspiring transformation once more. Every time she changed, it felt like witnessing a new force of nature coming to life. The island was desolate, its landscape carved by the fury of wind and lightning. Dark, jagged cliffs rose above them, and the sky was in a constant state of turmoil. In the distance, they saw the entrance to the Temple of Storms, a towering structure built into the side of a mountain, its exterior crackling with arcs of lightning. "This place feels alive," Tobian said as they made their way toward the temple. "The storm, it's as if it's waiting for us." Nivara nodded, her eyes glowing with the same energy that filled the air. "The magic here is wild and uncontrollable. We'll need to be careful." As they reached the temple, the entrance was blocked by a massive stone door, engraved with swirling patterns of wind and lightning. At the center was an intricate lock that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the storm. Nivara stepped forward, her hands crackling with energy. "This lock requires the power of the storm to open. I can feel it resonating with me." She placed her hands on the door, and as she did, lightning surged through her body, flowing into the lock. The storm overhead intensified, and the door began to glow with a brilliant light. With a thunderous boom, it swung open, revealing a dark passageway that led deep into the heart of the temple. Inside, the temple was unlike any they had seen before. The walls were made of smooth black stone, with veins of glowing blue energy running through them like lightning. The air was thick with power, and the constant sound of thunder echoed through the halls. As they ventured deeper, they reached a massive chamber at the center of the temple, where a large, glowing crystal floated above a stone pedestal. "The heart of the storm," Nivara said in awe. "This is the source of the temple's power." Before they could approach, the ground trembled, and a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a massive storm elemental, its form made of swirling wind and lightning, with eyes that glowed like molten silver. The guardian of the temple had awakened. Tobian quickly sketched the elemental, noting its imposing form and the way it seemed to blend seamlessly with the storm itself. "We need to prove ourselves worthy," he said, setting his sketchbook aside. Nivara stepped forward, her form crackling with energy as she faced the guardian. "We seek the power of the storm, not for destruction, but for balance," she said, her voice calm yet filled with authority. The elemental regarded her for a moment, then unleashed a bolt of lightning toward her. Nivara reacted swiftly, raising her hands and absorbing the energy into herself. Her form glowed brighter, and she released the energy back into the storm, sending a powerful shockwave that echoed through the temple. The elemental paused, then nodded slowly, recognizing her control over the storm's power. It stepped aside, allowing them access to the heart of the storm. Nivara approached the glowing crystal, her hair and gown swirling with the energy of the storm. She placed her hand on the crystal, and as she did, a surge of power flowed through her, connecting her to the very essence of the storm. The crystal began to pulse with a steady rhythm, and a soft light filled the chamber. Tobian watched in awe, capturing the moment in his sketchbook. "You're like the storm itself," he whispered, his hand moving quickly across the page. With the heart of the storm in their possession, the temple's magic settled, and the storm outside began to calm. Nivara, now fully attuned to the power of the storm, could feel its energy coursing through her. "The storm is no longer wild," she said softly. "It's part of me now." As they left the temple and returned to their ship, the once turbulent seas were now calm, the storm clouds parting to reveal a clear sky. With the heart of the storm, they had unlocked yet another ancient power, one that would guide them on their journey. Tobian smiled as he flipped through his sketchbook, each page filled with images of Nivara in her various forms. "Every island brings us closer to the truth," he said. "And every step we take reveals more of the ancient magic hidden within these lands." Nivara, her hair still glowing faintly with the energy of the storm, nodded. "There's more to discover, more mysteries to unlock. And with the power of the storm at our side, we're ready for whatever comes next." With their ship now guided by the winds of the storm, Tobian and Nivara sailed onward, eager for the next adventure that awaited them beyond the horizon. The Garden of Eternal Bloom. After their encounter with the storm's power, Tobian and Nivara's journey took them to a peaceful, mystical island known as the Garden of Eternal Bloom. Unlike the tempestuous lands they had recently crossed, this island was a vibrant paradise where every plant and flower seemed to pulse with life. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms, and the trees towered high above, their leaves shimmering in hues of gold and silver. As they approached the island's shore, Nivara felt the pull of the island's magic, and her transformation began once again. Her stormy appearance faded, replaced by something more serene. Her hair bloomed into a cascade of rich green, streaked with vibrant petals in colors ranging from deep violet to pale pink. Her eyes turned a soft, golden green, like the first light of dawn shining through a forest canopy. Her skin took on the hue of warm sunlight filtering through leaves, and her gown transformed into a flowing garment of delicate vines, adorned with blossoming flowers that shifted with each movement. She had become the spirit of eternal bloom, embodying the life and energy of the island's flourishing magic. "You look radiant," Tobian said as he gazed at her, already flipping open his sketchbook. He began capturing her new form, marveling at the way she seemed to bring the very garden around them to life. Nivara smiled softly. "This place feels timeless, like it's been blooming forever. The magic here is strong, but peaceful. I think we'll find something ancient hidden beneath all this beauty." Together, they ventured deeper into the garden, where the plants seemed to guide them, parting to reveal a winding path through the lush greenery. Birds of every color sang from the treetops, and the light seemed to dance around them, making the garden feel like a living dream. Eventually, they arrived at the heart of the island, where an enormous tree stood at the center of a vast clearing. Its trunk was massive, and its branches reached far into the sky, heavy with blossoms that sparkled like stars. At the base of the tree was a stone altar covered in moss and flowers, and upon it rested a glowing orb, pulsing with life. "This is the heart of eternal bloom," Nivara whispered, her voice filled with reverence. "It's said to hold the essence of life itself." Before they could approach, the ground beneath them trembled, and from the roots of the great tree, a guardian emerged. It was a towering figure made of twisted vines, its body adorned with flowers and leaves. Its eyes glowed with the light of the orb, and it moved with the slow, steady grace of nature itself. Tobian quickly sketched the guardian, noting the intricate details of its form. "Another test," he said quietly, his gaze focused on the guardian. Nivara stepped forward, her connection to the island's magic flowing through her. "We come seeking the power of life, to restore balance and nurture the world," she said, her voice calm and filled with the vitality of the garden. The guardian watched them silently, then raised its hand, causing the flowers and vines around them to grow rapidly, surrounding Tobian and Nivara in a cocoon of blooming plants. The vines twisted and grew tighter, testing their resolve. Nivara closed her eyes, her form glowing with the life of the garden. She reached out with her magic, commanding the vines to release them. Slowly, the plants responded to her touch, the flowers blooming even more brightly as they loosened their grip and retreated back into the ground. The guardian lowered its hand, impressed by Nivara's control over the island's magic. It stepped aside, allowing them to approach the altar. Nivara lifted the glowing orb from the stone, its warmth filling her with a sense of peace and renewal. The heart of eternal bloom pulsed with life, and as she held it, she felt the power of the garden flow through her, connecting her to the very essence of growth and nature. Tobian stood by her side, sketching the moment. "This place feels eternal," he said softly. "Like time doesn't exist here." Nivara nodded. "The magic of life is timeless. It's everywhere, always growing, always renewing. This heart is a reminder of that power." With the heart of eternal bloom now in their possession, the island's magic seemed to respond to Nivara, the flowers blooming even more vibrantly as they made their way back to the shore. As they sailed away from the island, Nivara's connection to the magic of life remained strong, her appearance still reflecting the beauty and energy of the garden. Her hair continued to shimmer with petals, and her gown still shifted with vines and flowers, a living testament to the power they had uncovered. Tobian smiled as he added the finishing touches to his sketch of her. "Every place we visit, you become more attuned to the magic of the world. It's incredible to witness." Nivara's eyes sparkled with the light of the garden. "And there's still so much more to discover. This journey feels like it's only just begun." With the heart of eternal bloom guiding them, Tobian and Nivara sailed onward, their next adventure waiting on the horizon, where new magic, new mysteries, and new transformations would await them. The Cavern of Echoing Flames. As Tobian and Nivara sailed further into unknown waters, the temperature began to rise, and the air shimmered with heat. The sea around them turned a deep, molten orange as if they were approaching the heart of a volcano. According to the ancient map they had discovered at the Garden of Eternal Bloom, their next destination was a place shrouded in legend, the Cavern of Echoing Flames. The cavern was said to contain a fire that had burned for centuries, a living flame that could be controlled by those who understood the secrets of its song. The island soon came into view, its rocky shores covered in black volcanic stone, glowing cracks of magma running through the earth. Above them, the sky was an ominous shade of red, with streaks of fire lighting up the clouds. Tobian glanced at Nivara, sensing the imminent shift in her appearance. She stood at the edge of the ship, eyes closed, feeling the heat and energy of the volcanic island. Slowly, her transformation began. Her hair ignited into long, flowing strands of fiery red and gold, flickering like the flames themselves. Her eyes became molten amber, glowing with an intensity that reflected the fire within her. Her skin took on the appearance of heated bronze, with shimmering embers beneath its surface. Her gown, now a flowing, molten robe of lava and obsidian, trailed behind her like a river of fire. Nivara had become the spirit of echoing flames, embodying the fierce, untamed power of the eternal fire. Tobian was in awe. "You've become the flame itself," he said, his hand already moving across his sketchbook, capturing her fiery transformation. Nivara smiled, her eyes glowing with warmth and intensity. "This island holds a deep power. I can feel the flames calling to me." As they made their way toward the cavern entrance, the ground rumbled beneath their feet. Jagged pillars of volcanic rock rose around them, and the air shimmered with heat. The entrance to the cavern of echoing flames was marked by 2 towering columns of magma, and beyond them lay a vast, dark tunnel that pulsed with the glow of distant fire. Inside, the walls of the cavern were made of smooth, black stone, with rivers of molten lava flowing through channels carved into the ground. The air was thick with heat, and the sound of a deep, resonating hum echoed from deep within. As they ventured further, the sound grew louder, like the beating heart of the volcano. At the heart of the cavern, they found a massive chamber, where a great lake of fire burned with intense, glowing heat. Above the lake floated a fiery crystal, suspended in the air by unseen forces. The crystal pulsed with the same rhythm as the humming sound, its glow casting dancing reflections of fire on the cavern walls. "The heart of echoing flames," Nivara whispered. "It's singing. The fire here is alive." Before they could approach, the flames at the edge of the lake roared to life, and from within the fire, a guardian appeared. It was a towering elemental, its body made entirely of flames and molten rock, with eyes that blazed like suns. It was the protector of the flames' song, and it would test their worthiness. Tobian, as always, began sketching the elemental, his fingers moving quickly over the page to capture the fiery details. "Every guardian has its challenge," he muttered. "But this one feels different, more primal." Nivara stepped forward, her form glowing brighter as she connected with the flames around her. "This fire isn't just destruction," she said, her voice calm and filled with understanding. "It's life, warmth, and creation. The flame can bring renewal if you listen to its song." The elemental responded by sending a wave of fire toward them. Nivara raised her hand, and the flames curved around her, wrapping her in their warmth but causing no harm. She began to hum softly, matching the rhythm of the echoing flames around them. Slowly, the fire elemental calmed, its form flickering as it recognized Nivara's connection to the flame's power. With a nod, the elemental stepped aside, allowing Nivara and Tobian to approach the heart of echoing flames. The crystal pulsed in time with the flames, its glow intensifying as Nivara reached out to touch it. As her hand connected with the crystal, a surge of energy flowed through her, and the flames around the cavern roared in response. The fire's song became louder, filling the air with a symphony of power and creation. Nivara's fiery form pulsed with the energy of the heart, and she smiled, feeling the strength of the flame resonate within her. Tobian captured the moment in his sketchbook, his lines quick but precise as he detailed Nivara's radiant form. "You've become part of the fire's song," he said, marveling at her transformation. Nivara nodded. "The flames here echo through time, through creation and destruction. The power of fire isn't just to burn, it's to forge, to create something new from the ashes." With the heart of echoing flames now in their possession, the cavern's heat seemed to settle, and the once roaring flames became a soft, steady glow. Nivara's connection to the island's magic remained strong, her appearance still reflecting the fierce yet nurturing energy of the flames. As they left the cavern and sailed away from the volcanic island, the distant rumble of the volcano faded into the horizon. The fire within Nivara continued to burn brightly, her hair still flickering like flames, and her gown trailing behind her like molten lava. Tobian smiled as he added the finishing touches to his sketch of Nivara. Every place we visit, you embody its magic in a way that feels timeless. It's like you're part of every element, every story. Nivara's fiery eyes softened, the warmth of the flame still present in her gaze. The world's magic is connected, from the storms to the gardens, and now the flames. Each place we visit brings us closer to understanding the true balance of nature's power. With the heart of echoing flames guiding them, Tobian and Nivara sailed toward their next destination, the horizon glowing with the promise of new adventures and the magic that awaited them.